One more death. This is Where Would a Death Be Without Virginia Woolf? She has to be in there. She's the best death of all. Everyone's written a poem about Virginia Woolf and her stones in her pockets and wandering into the river. And the problem is if you're trying to write a poem that's about the modernists, you can't leave Virginia Woolf out of it, even though she's been done to death. Poor girl, she's a wonderful writer. She's my favourite writer. Don't take me incorrectly on this one. And then I was reading about her the last months when she was at Rodmill, and about 6 weeks, I think it was. It's in here somewhere. Or was it 6 days? 1 sec. 6 days. 6 days before 6 days before the suicide, she appeared in the garden. It had been pouring with rain, and she'd gone out for a walk in her big heavy fur coat, and she came back completely and utterly soaked. I mean, more than any rain could do. And she staggered into Rodmill, and Leonard Woolf sort of brought her in and took her to bed. She stayed in bed for 6 days, and then she went out and killed herself. So this sort of what I've imagined it is it's not a rehearsal of it. I don't think. I look upon this as if she's undertaken a type of shamanistic voyage, that she's gone to the river and she's gone into the river, below the river, and she's asked the fish who are in the river, who come towards her, there's a list of them in the middle, about what the future's going to be, and what she sees is all the values that were so important to her in writing and in culture and whatever, being destroyed, and on the basis of what she sees that she decides to go back and drown herself. So I'll finish with this one. It's called A Walk in the Rain. Woolf late at Rodmill. Deep in the pelting rain, trampling rain-flattened grass, her pelted coat now short-furred, she can hear the Ouse well before seeing it, tidal, swift. Lately there has been much river calling, banks burst, broken water roaring white, the marsh a gulling sea, a grief of long heavy fall, its burden spread about the fields. Each haystack in the flood, marooned so, strikes her as a Monet, each a timepiece measured out in colour. She moves to where land lies level with the flow. At best of times high-watered, edges bared by current, the river draws her where a stretch has offered smooth, palm-filling stones, dread heavy, heavier than resistance. She steps out from the bank, out of solidity. But there is no question here of drowning. She gills water to a dampish air, unremarkable as fog encountered on a walk from Tavistock to the embankment. The zeppelin of a rowing boat's wooden hull passes overhead, a child's fingers trailing through the undersurface, drawing Ouse swimmers close. Barbel, roach and dace, chub, tench, minnow, they're the fish. Visions peeled from them in shoals, showing everything that she has feared to see. Every balance, all completeness, ravished and dismantled, squares in ruins, waters rising through the city, libraries reduced to rooms of pulp and twine. She falls. Leonard catches her staggering return. She, flushed, bent forward, dripping like a spaniel. Slipped, she tells him, fallen in a ditch close by the osier beds. Through the waste of Rodmill, he leads her back towards the house. 6 days on, she rises from her sick bed. Illnesses, how express it, partly mystical. Swinging wide the casement, to find Leonard at the rhododendrons and a curious seaside feeling in the air. Thank you.